This here is Frankie. He's my dog, the farm dog. You see him throughout the clip. He follows me around everywhere, and wherever we go to work, he comes with me. This is Coon Brothers Farm. We started in 1954. Grandfather and his brother started the farm. They came here, they bought about 40 Guernseys and milked them right in here where we have our calves today. They slowly grew their own farm. In the 70s, we put a milking parlor in and we bought some Holsteins. We added them to the herd and they have slowly grown, and now we're milking about 320 cows altogether. Now it's my father, his brother, my brother, and myself all run the farm. Besides milking cows, we also farm about a little over 2,000 acres of crops. We do enough to feed our cows, and then we also do a lot of dry corn and soybeans, and we bale a lot of hay for local people. We probably use around maybe 800 acres for ourselves, and then the rest of it is just extra that we grow crops on to sell. We've been here for, I guess, about 70 years. We're pretty close to New York City, and it's becoming more populated here, but I guess the general consensus with all of us is there's no other place we'd rather farm. We always figured it's pretty beautiful here, and we're fortunate to get the opportunity to do this in such a nice area. We start every day here, 3 in the morning. We bring our cows down here to the milking parlor to milk them. We spend a lot of time trying to make sure they're out of the pen at least amount of time as possible so they're not disturbed. After they're done milking, they go back, they can lay down, they eat breakfast. Someone comes every morning to feed fresh feed to them, and they come back to the pen with a clean barn and something to eat. I start my day at 4. I come in, I make sure there's no problems. I make sure there's no new calves. Take care of any little things that need to be done. I spend a lot of my time worrying about herd health and reproduction with the animals. So anything we can do to keep them happy and healthy. So this is some of the feed we make for our cows. It's just, as you can see, it's kind of a fine mixture. There's some alfalfa and corn silage. We have some soybeans in there. And then we also have some grain that we purchased from a feed mill, which is kind of like all the extra vitamins and minerals that the cows will need to help them produce milk. About 90% of the feed that our cows eat every day is grown here on the farm, and that's always a nice thing because it's nice to have control over what they're eating. You know they're eating the best possible feed that they can. So now we're in spring. We're starting to get very busy with all our crops. About this time of year, or even in a couple weeks, we get even busier. Right now we're starting to spread manure. We're patching holes in fences that happen throughout the winter so we can turn heifers out on pasture. It makes for an exciting time, I guess. It's, the winter is cold, and now stuff's starting to grow. It's pretty nice. We are pretty close to New York City. We're about an hour and a half north, and with that, it kind of gives us an interesting position. There's a lot of people from New York City that have moved up here and bought land, and we farm it. They like to have their land taken care of and look nice, and we have been able to do that so far. We spend a lot of time making sure that everything's right for them and that they're happy, and when they're happy, it makes it pretty nice. One of the big things we do is sustainability with the land. We plant some cover crops. We do a lot of no-till planting to keep the soil healthy. That keeps the land nice for them, and it keeps it nice for us. So it's a win-win for everybody. Well, we map all our fields that we use. We have GPS on our corn planter, on our combine. It allows us to know exact numbers for where we put corn and soybean seed and how much fertilizer, and then we can correlate that in the fall with how much yield we got, so how many pounds of corn or how many bushels of corn or soybeans we got, and it allows us to make sure we're not putting too much fertilizer or not enough fertilizer on the ground. So this is our manure storage. It's a slurry store. It holds 1 million gallons of manure. This allows us to go from spreading manure every day to storing it all winter long and all summer long. We spread usually about 2 big times a year. So we have been spreading manure, and because as you can see it's raining today, we are not. A couple things: it would be a little muddy. It would kind of ruin the fields a little bit. It would drag mud out onto the road, which a lot of our neighbors don't like, and it would also run off the fields, and it wouldn't be beneficial to the crops.